Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, when I start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath. Shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathens. Now this lesson is going to be based on division. And the fact that all of this division amongst the people is going to result in civil wars, race wars, and ultimately world war. So through the Spirit, I'm going to give some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. Luke 12:51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you nay, but rather division. And that's clearly what the Lord is doing. And you can see the division happening more and more amongst the people. Political division, racial division. And it's only getting worse. Like, you can just feel the tension in the air, especially here in America. It says division among people refers to a situation where a group or society splits into opposing factions due to serious disagreements, tensions, or hostility. It reflects a break in social cohesion where differing opinions or identities cause people to feel fundamentally disconnected or estranged from one another. And that's exactly how society is. Everybody's divided against each other for, whatever reasons. And like I said, that results in civil wars, race wars, and world wars. And that's exactly what the Lord wants, because this is how he's going to bring, or this is one of the ways in how he's going to bring judgment upon the people that he is angry with. It says Exodus 15:3. The Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name. And that's right, the Heavenly Father is a man of war. So, like I said, civil wars, race wars, world wars. This is what he does. He is a man of war. So as the racial tension increases, as the political tension increases, as global tension increases, we're going to see more violence. Everybody against each other, more people from different races clashing with each other, stabbing each other, shooting each other, threatening each other online. We're going to see, more political related violence. And we're also going to see more like global violence in the form of these wars, because you currently have the U.S., Israel, Iran war, with, I believe, Lebanon thrown in there as well. The U.S. keeps attacking Iran and Israel keeps bombing Lebanon. So, you have that conflict happening, that division happening as well. And the Lord is the one setting all of this division up. He's the one causing it. And those of us of the hopeful elect, we have to stay prayed up and we got to stay circumspect, because things are going to get a lot worse out here. Like I said, anybody who's paying attention, you can see, the tension building. You could feel the tension in the air. You know that the Lord is about to have all hell break loose. These race wars are about to kick off out here. The civil wars, So we have to stay circumspect, Keep your head on a swivel. Always be aware of your surroundings, and obviously stay prayed up and hope that the Lord, keeps his hedge of protection over you. Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And that is the hope of those of us of the hopeful elect. We hope that the Lord accounts us worthy to escape all the race wars and the civil wars and the famines and the pestilences and all the judgments and calamities and many great miseries that we know he's about to unleash upon this earth to punish all of these wicked people with whom he is angry with. You know, those of us of the hopeful elect, our goal is to endure unto the end and be saved. You know, we're not trying to get caught up in the judgments that the Lord has in store for these wicked people. And one of those judgments, or some of those judgments, I should say, will come in the form of the race wars, the civil wars, and ultimately the world war, which will be the war to end all wars, because the world war, World War III, is going to be a nuclear war. Whether people want it to be or not, whether people can accept it or not. That's what it's going to be. That's the direction that the Lord has things going in. And there is no stopping it. So, for all you sincere brothers and sisters out there, you know, just stay on your watch, stay circumspect, and stay prayed up. Because this division that we're witnessing, it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. You know, and there is no political figure who can bring people together. The Lord does not want that. You know, the Lord is using certain people to stoke more division because he wants there to be these different versions of war so that he can bring judgment upon certain wicked people. You know, these 2/3, these heathens, and these Edomites as well. And the majority of these people, they don't even understand how serious this is. You know, there are people all over social media, in particular on TikTok, talking about how, you know, there could be race wars, you know, and civil wars and world war. Like, the Lord has it on people's spirit to talk about this. But these people are only seeing it from a carnal aspect. They don't understand the spiritual aspect of it. They don't understand that the Lord is the one in the midst of these conversations. He's the one stirring the pot. He's the one having, you know, people from different, you know, quote unquote races attacking each other. So that, you know, it just stokes more racial division, which eventually will spiral into a race war. Same thing with, you know, political violence. You know, people from different sides of the political aisle attacking each other. You know, that's going to result in civil war. Also, you know, people being against the government. You know, you have a lot of people who are very pissed off with the way the government is. So you're going to have people who are trying to overthrow the government. Then you're going to have the people who are trying to stop them. You know, things are about to get very, very violent out here. And like I said, if you've been paying attention, you know, when it comes to social media, you can see it. People are talking about it more and more. And it's like, you know, it's just preparing you mentally for what's about to happen. We are living in the last days. And as all the men of the Lord say, these last days are not going to be peaceful. They're going to be violent and chaotic. And a lot of people are going to die. A lot of men, a lot of women, and a lot of children. Because the Lord, He's not going to spare any of these wicked people. And that's what these people don't understand. You know, to be honest, nobody is really going to win any of these wars. These race wars, civil war, the world war, nobody's really going to win. Because all the people that the Lord is going to have participating in this, they're all going to die. So they're all going to lose, but they're carnal and they're simple and they're ignorant and they have no idea how, deep this thing goes. But those of us of the Hope Select, we understand. And like I said, we just pray that the Lord, He shields us, He protects us, and He just keeps us out of the way of the chaos when He does decide to open the floodgates and let that chaos loose. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, for putting His Spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath. Shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathen. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. And Adawan Ratzazah, which means Lord's will. Till next time, Shalom.